Brad Stevens just pulled off one of the absolute greatest roster moves in recent basketball history. The Boston Celtics are looking like absolute geniuses after trading away center Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks. Many fans were completely devastated when the championship core was broken up last summer. The front office had to make incredibly tough decisions to save the future of the franchise from severe financial penalties. The new league collective bargaining rules make it nearly impossible to keep multiple expensive superstars together. Teams that cross the dreaded second apron face massive restrictions in trades and draft picks. Crossing into the second apron triggers immediate restrictions that freeze a franchise. You lose access to the mid-level exception completely. You cannot aggregate salaries in major trades to acquire stars. Teams are even restricted from sending out cash-in deals or protecting their future draft assets. The league designed these harsh penalties specifically to stop wealthy owners from buying wins. Boston recognized this trap early and decided to act before the walls closed in on their payroll. They chose to dump the heavy contract of Porzingis to free up over $30 million in breathing room. At the time, some critics questioned if the team could survive without his unique elite skill set on the court. Having a giant who can protect the rim and hit shots from the perimeter is a luxury. Porzingis can change the geometry of the game when he is active and rolling. His presence forces opposing centers away from the rim. That opening creates massive driving lanes for quick guards. The Atlanta Hawks were more than happy to take a gamble on the talented big man. They believed he could be the missing piece to elevate their roster into true championship contention in the East. 1 year later, the entire situation looks completely different for both franchises involved. Porzingis struggled immensely to stay on the court during his disastrous tenure with the Hawks organization. He was limited to appearing in just 32 total games due to a brutal mix of injuries and sudden illness. His lack of availability completely ruined any chance of building chemistry. When he did actually manage to play, his production fell off a massive cliff. He averaged his lowest minutes per game in years and shot a terrible 33.8% from three-point range. His defensive impact also suffered as his lateral quickness declined noticeably. Opponents began targeting him in pick-and-roll situations with great success. He was no longer an elite stopper. Fit was so incredibly poor that Atlanta decided to cut their losses before the season even ended. They shipped him to the Golden State Warriors at the trade deadline in exchange for Jonathan Kuminga. The fact that Atlanta moved on so quickly proves that Boston won the initial trade by a landslide. But the story gets even better when you look at what happened during the recent draft night. The only other asset Atlanta received from Boston in that original deal was a very late draft selection. It was the 57th pick in the draft, which usually carries almost zero real value to teams. Atlanta took that exact pick and combined it with extra cash to execute a clever trade-up. They desperately wanted to find someone who could replicate what they hoped Porzingis would provide. Jumped ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks to select Henri Veesaar. He is a talented 7-foot big man out of North Carolina who possesses a very unique and versatile game. Veesaar spent his collegiate career developing a modern skill set under heavy pressure. He showed flashes of brilliant passing out of the post. His shot mechanics look incredibly smooth for his size. The young prospect has the ultimate ceiling of becoming a high-level stretch big man. He has the potential to block shots at the rim while spacing the floor with his outside shooting ability. It is hilarious that Atlanta is still actively searching for the exact prototype that Porzingis represents. They spent extra resources just to find a younger version of the player they just discarded. Boston is watching all of this unfold with absolutely zero regrets about their painful off-season decisions. Knew that relying on an expensive player with health issues was a massive risk. Please take a quick moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on all the latest roster moves. Your support helps us bring you the best basketball breakdowns. Let us look deeper at the exact financial mechanics of the original multi-team Blockbuster deal. Full details show exactly how Brad Stevens managed to navigate the complex salary cap landscape. In that trade, Boston received veteran forward Georges Niang, along with a future second-round pick in the year 2031. They also secured extra cash to help offset their immediate expenses. The Hawks acquired Porzingis and young prospect Narciss Ngoy to bolster their depth. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets got involved in the action by landing Terrence Mann and Drake Powell in the shuffle. The interesting part is that Georges Niang never played a single minute of basketball for the Celtics. Stevens had a completely different plan for the veteran forward from the very beginning. Just 1 month after acquiring him, Boston traded Niang to the Utah Jazz to slice even more money from their ledger. That secondary move cost the Celtics 2 future second-round draft selections. Stevens recognized that holding on to unnecessary salary would cripple their summer plans. He preferred to sacrifice minor draft assets rather than lose financial flexibility for the main core. Spending those minor assets was a very small price to pay, to clear millions of dollars in luxury taxes. It allowed the franchise to remain highly flexible while resetting their financial clock. Championship roster required massive sacrifices that hurt the fan base deeply. Boston also had to trade defensive star Drew Holiday and let beloved veterans Al Horford and Luke Cornett walk. Losing those key pieces felt like an absolute disaster to many supporters in the moment. But the front office kept their eyes on the long-term health and stability of the entire organization. Now Porzingis is entering the open market as an unrestricted free agent, looking for his next destination. Will undoubtedly command a significant payday from a team desperate for size. Some desperate franchise will likely offer him the full non-taxpayer mid-level exception, or perhaps even more money. His raw talent and unique physical dimensions are simply too tantalizing. Celtics fans should absolutely not expect a reunion with the talented big man this summer. Boston is still actively managing their strict budget constraints to avoid future league penalties. Front office has already secured a massive victory by getting out from under that heavy contract early. They avoided paying over $30 million to a player who cannot stay healthy. Boston still faces some legitimate questions regarding their depth at the center position moving forward, but they are completely comfortable knowing they made the correct mathematical choice. The center market is notoriously unpredictable during the summer months. Quality big men often command inflated salaries due to a league-wide scarcity of size and must find a bargain choice. Atlanta is left hoping that their new young rookie from North Carolina can develop quickly. They learned a very expensive lesson about trying to rely on older injury-prone superstars. Only time will tell if Henri Veesaar can truly live up to the massive expectations placed on his shoulders. The pressure to replace the production of a star is an incredible burden for a rookie. Brad Stevens continues to prove why he is considered one of the elite executives in professional sports. He values flexibility and durability over name recognition and past achievements. The modern basketball landscape rewards front offices that can think 3 steps ahead of their opponents. Boston has established a clear blueprint for how to maintain a highly competitive edge. We will see how the rest of the conference responds to these shifting team dynamics over the summer. The race to build the perfect roster is an endless battle that requires total dedication. What do you think about this incredible trade breakdown? Do you think the front office made the right move by prioritizing financial flexibility over star power? Let us know your thoughts.